Maayong adlaw, mga buhay ug madayaw gikan sa dakbayan sa Davao. And we are here once again for another edition of our one-on-one heart-to-heart interview. Here on the Kadangpan Digital Facebook page, Kadangpan Digital Network Facebook page, and Kadangpan Digital YouTube channel. Let's not wait further ado because she's already here as of course this is Kumustahan Galore ang atong pagabuhaton 2 months kapin since she was crowned as the concurrent and the reigning Mutya ng Davao 2025. She is currently a paralegal, of course, within the city, and she had joined numerous pageants in local and also the Hiyas ng Pilipinas. Representing Davao region. I don't know what province it is, but we will make sure na para dili ma-point blank ang atong discussion, let's all welcome the concurrent Mutya ng Davao 2025 representing Barangay 19-B, Poblacion, Bacaca/Garcia Heights, Davao City, none other than Rebecca Gail Celis. Mabuhay ug madayaw, Rebecca.
Mabuhay ug madayaw, Sir Carlo, and mabuhay ug madayaw to all our viewers. Thank you so much for having me today.
Yes, I am glad that at least you have the ample time to have us on this heart-to-heart interview, which is 2 months kapin since you have crowned as the Mutya ng Davao. So, first and foremost, kumusta naman ka since you have been engaging in so many activities and fulfilling your responsibilities as one of the ambassadors of Davao City?
So, kumusta no? It's really a deep word right now because there has been a lot of events prior to today. So, we had different events na from appearances on the radio to tree planting activities, tree growing activities, pageants. Also, we're being invited to several pageants and we're being invited right now to speak actually sa managlaing events covering different topics. So, it has been a whirlwind of emotions. The first month was a honeymoon stage for us. It felt like gifeel pa na mo ang moment ang crown. But right now, the responsibility is weighing upon us. We are here, yun nga, as you mentioned, sir, we are ambassadors of the city, the four of us. And we're just so happy to be here. So, we're looking forward for the next months na makaserve me sa Dakbayan sa Davao.
All right. So let's all start with your, let's just say, your humble beginnings since childhood. So, what is your childhood dream, Baya, while you were studying in classes in elementary or high school?
So, to be honest, no, ang akong childhood dream is actually to be a cashier. So, I know, diba, it's kind of like, my parents set me to be a lawyer, actually, since I was a child. But, when I was a child, I wanted to be different. I wanted to be a cashier. Kasi palagi ko sila makita sa mall, sa grocery, and I think it's an honorable job to be there. Kapoy magtindog for a whole day, even day to night. Pero for me, kay handling money or like entertaining other people and being a part of the service industry is something that I really wanted to be in before when I was a child. So, yeah.
Yeah. Pero why does, as you grow up, nag-change course na ang imuhang dream job na imuhang gusto nimo makabot?
Oo. So, as I grew up, I just also wanted to be aligned with my parents din na what they want for me is what's the best for me. So, that is something I kept in mind when I was growing up. So, during that time na nag-cashier ako huna-huna, pag-abot na ko og elementary, is it okay ba mag-Bisaya? Pwede ra. So, pagdating ko ng elementary, I shifted actually to being a doctor. I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to be so many things until I came to the conclusion that I wanted to be a media person like
Yes,
you.
yes.
So I also took up mass communication in college. And then after graduating naman sa college, nag-shift na ako to becoming a lawyer because nakuha ko naman, naka-internship na ako with a lot of media outlets here in Davao. And then I realized na maybe it's time for me to follow my parents' dreams so that they would see me naman in the dream that they want me to be in. And that's to become a lawyer.
Wow. Interesting, Jaya, because maybe through the years that you have been doing some several jobs, but still, you have given the ample time to fulfill the wish of your parents. Anyway, I am intrigued about being entering into the pageant. Oo, so gusto na akong may balaan. When did you start nga ni sulod sa pagrampa sa mga pageants?
Okay. So, the story is... Dagan kay story, no?
Yes, oo.
Alright. So, when I was a child, taga-Catalunan pequeño jud mi,
Yes.
sir, before Barangay 19B.
Okay.
So, nag-relocate lang mi sa downtown kay mas duol sa mga workplace, sa school. But when I was a child, niapil ko og Little Miss Wellspring Village sa Catalunan pequeño. And that was my very first pageant. And then, after that, the next pageant I joined was in school now when I was in grade 3. And then the next was in high school. But those pageants were like, I had zero training din before. So, nag-join lang jud ko because plus points, because gipa-apil ko kay cute. But then, so it was a long hiatus from high school. Isa lang pud ka pageant akong naapilan in high school, and that was a school-wide pageant. And then after Ana, nag-law school ko, it really wasn't in the cards for me to join a pageant. In 2024, I joined Butya ng Davao 2024 edition with
Yes.
Hana,
Yes.
Mutya Hana. And that was my very first real pageant. But still, zero training and all. So I just, I think the plan there was to experience lang. The screening lang talaga, sir. Pero sawa ng Diyos, nakapasok tayo sa top 30 candidates. And that's where my pageantry story started. After Mutya ng Davao, sunod-sunod na, we went to Mutya ng Buhangin, Mutya ng Davao del Sur. I even reached Surigao del Norte, the end of Mindanao, Claver. And I also reached nationals. And that's all because of the grace of God.
Yeah. Kani, intriguing kayo ang post nimo because for this year you have joined again the Mutya ng Davao. But you said if you will not make it, it will be your last. But I would just want to know that how come the second time around that you have joined the Mutya ng Davao, although there are some familiar faces in the pageant, the contenders from the previous pageants you have joined, and how is the experience that you're taking the risk that you will go for a second try?
Yes. So for the second time around, joining Mutya ng Davao this year, again, it wasn't really in my cards, sir. I was planning to go back to law school, work na talaga. But then, gitap ako ng handler ko na maybe it's time to try again. Let's give justice naman sa supporters mo. So, I was actually just there to enjoy the show. Winning is not in my cards. Sa totoo lang. But if, when the floodgates of heaven opens, it really opens and it floods. And yun na nga, I was also shocked to win. I wasn't expecting to win. I was just there to give my supporters a very good show kasi they've been with me, ato sila digos, mag-support sila online. So ako gusto na ko ibalik sa ilhaon sa ilang hatag sa kuha. And katulang, na-shock lang pud me na the results were this way. But of course, nag-prepare pud me at the same time because we want also to give the city of Davao what they deserve. Yeah.
Heart to heart, with this question that I'd like to ask, that wala ba'y nakitaan na potential nga you will go very high, although you have joined the Hiyas ng Pilipinas, but Are you willing to take the risk in joining Miss Universe?
What? Actually, daghang gasulti na. Join daw Binibini or Miss Universe. I mean, it's a very big dream for me to join those very prestigious pageants. But right now, I think the focus is for me to live my life here in Davao. Um, it probably isn't in my cards right now again, but if ano naman po, if the opportunity arrives, maybe sometime next year or 2 years from now, we'll see. Yun lang.
So very let's look forward to that kung matuman gyud ang imo ang gibuhi nga pulong kay monitoring baya ang mga pageant aficionados, mga
Yeah.
enthusiasts, and as well kay naka-cover naman kog pipila ka pageants. So anyway, gusto lang na ko i-open up regarding I think you have said that you are a survivor of domestic abuse, but kani what does this situation that happened to you had made you stronger in the long run despite na naay mga instances na mga struggle, mga challenges in life through law school or kanang sa imuhang everyday life?
What made me stronger? So I have mentioned also before that I actually survived an instance in my life. For 2 years, I was in an abusive relationship. And for those 2 years, I really thought that maybe I deserve this. Ganun. It's a common thing for abused women. It's called the battered women syndrome, to think that being battered is something that we deserve. Because it's a psychology thing na talaga. It happens in the mind. So, overcoming such nuances and the stigma, of course, dili jud mawala ang stigma. When you are battered, especially ako, I really experienced this, sir. I'm a law student. And then, I got into a situation na gituro sa amin nung first year. It's in the revised penal code. First year, yan ang criminal law. And then, I found myself in a situation that I read in my books, in my case digests, in everywhere. So, nasabihan talaga ako na, how could you let this happen? You're a law student. You know better. So, there's a stigma.
Yes.
It's undeniable. So, overcoming that makes you stronger. But of course, I didn't do it alone. I really needed the help of my family, my friends, to overcome that situation. I also made efforts to go through counseling to understand that what happened to me is not a common thing. It's not something that happens to everyone every day. It's something unusual, and it's something that I should stand up for. And that's how I came up with the idea of joining, again, the Mutya. It's actually my advocacy before, but before kasi wala pa siyang background. It was more on fighting for the rights of everyone, including LGBTs. I grounded it sa case nung transgender who was killed due to VAUSI. But this year, I grounded it also sa sarili ko. So I'm not just fighting for my own rights. I'm now fighting for every woman, every person who identifies as a woman, and everyone who has been battered and abused. So,
Okay, going through with meeting with people along the way, and especially women's advocates for the benefit of those who are watching right now. This is a sensitive issue that we would like to open up, but not everybody is aware about this. So, how can even 19 years old or younger, 17, 16. Sorry for the viewers, parental guidance is strictly recommended with this sensitive issue. How to, let's just say, the young ones, especially if they're in high school, that they shouldn't be deprived of the rights of women na ingon na lang natong makalingkawas gikan sa pagpangabuso. Not just relationships sa uyab, but rather sa family and relatives nga we do not know kung kinsay suspect, kinsay biktima nga mahilabtan, ma-take advantage in almost everyday lives o hadlok sila nga naay dangpanan or sumbunganan.
Yes. So, especially sa family, it's very sensitive.
Yes.
Kasi family members, you treat them, you grow up with them.
Yes.
So, kapag family, usually may seniority over them. May feeling of authority. Mahiya sila mag-reach out. So, my advice talaga is to take every opportunity you can. Kung may family member ka na trusted, mahirap kasi sir, pag family, for example, just an example, this is somebody that I spoke to before. Ang kanyang abuser was actually the parents. And it's hard. Kasi the parents, kahit magsumbong siya sa lolo, lola niya, or sa mga aunt and uncle niya, it's still kapatid ng parents, or parent ng parent niya. So parang, masakit sa heart na mahiya daw siya. But actually, the truth is, a lot of people are willing to help, especially pag younger ka. I also attended actually yung CSAM na this is online sexual abuse against children na forum, I think last 2 weeks ago or last week. And there are NGOs or non-government organizations who are willing to take the mile for you. DSWD is the doors are open. If hindi siya super accessible, your teachers are willing to help you. Yun ang nakasave sa kanya, ang kanyang teachers. Speaking to the teacher, because maya nga siya kung sa family niya sabihin. So the teacher actually helped her. And right now, okay na yung life niya. So, I will not mention names na lang po. Sensitivity, confidentiality din. But with intervention talaga, especially sa atin, outsiders tayo, diba? And we will always notice kapag may person na abused or may person na So, it's sensitive to approach, but make sure na kung mag-approach tayo, it's in a way na kumustahan lang. And if hindi mag-open up, wag pilitin.
Yeah.
But if mag-open up, tulungan.
Yes.
Tulungan talaga. Even if stranger tayo sa kanila, we don't know what they're going through.
Yes.
Maybe they need us.
Yeah. So likely, for those who are watching, if women are in danger here, kung binabastos sila, mao ni ang dapat na hand signal. It's like this. Then, parang kung nasa pangalan mo, this one.
Yeah.
And the last one. Kung if your life is really in danger, bisan kinsa na lang kuyugon na wala ta kabalo, even your closest friend, at any time you can be a victim by it. So do not wait na butang sa alanganin ng kinabuhi sa atong mga kababainhan. And actually, to open this up, I have attended mga 3 years ago, kung ako masayop, almost 3 years ago, regarding sa OSAEC, sa media, of course. Pero of course, it's from another organization, from Talikala Foundation.
Yeah, Talikala.
Yes. Anyway, so balik ta sa let's just say pageant. So, discuss because I think that one of the most memorable na imong na sanmutan is of course the national competition for the Hiyas ng Pilipinas.
Yes.
With Maria Isabel Pelayo. Because I always mentioned regards from Maria Isabel Pelayo. So, Ani, can you share to us what was the experience of joining one of the national competitions that you have represented in the province that is given, along with your fellow sister candidates for the entire Davao region, together with Samantha Mariel Enario and Carly Jane Chua?
So the national pageant, Hiyas na Pilipinas 2024, I was actually roommates with them, with Sam, Ate Carly, and Ria, the Davao people. So I represented Digo City, Davao del Sur. During that time, national pageants are a different animal talaga. They are bigger. marami masyadong sponsors.
Yes.
We had a lot of sponsors visit from time to time. We woke up very early and slept very late. Compared to like, I can compare it to Mutya ng Davao. The pressure is the same. But national pageants kasi, you are not just dealing with 20 girls, 14 girls, 30 girls. You are dealing with around, I think we were 50 delegates or 55. So many girls, so many candidates, and so much potential in each one. So you have to think of a way na, syempre, you have to stand out. Pageantry is really about standing out, diba? So you have to stand out. But of course, na-joy mga blessed ni Lord.
Yes.
And maybe, yun nga, as can I quote Ate Jan Marie, Ate Mai, I watched her video before, and she said that pageantry is 50% skill and 50% faith. So, even if 50% ka sa imong skill, if it's not yet your time, it's not your time. So, during the time, it wasn't my time, pero I can tell that the experience is enriching. Kasi we had touched like different lives. It was a different talaga na entity. Like, ang kahago nimo, dili pud siya ma-measure after like ang kalipay na mo abot, because you know na you have not just participated in a pageant that would make history. You have participated in a pageant where I made sisters not just from Davao City but all over the Philippines.
Yeah. But out of all the candidates gyud sa hiyas ng Pilipinas, outside of let's give Davao region an exception. Who's the very closest gyud sa tanan, no?
Outside Davao region, so I've been really close na kina Ate Carly, but outside Davao region, I think na close yun ako si Cebu and si Cavite. Si Trisha ug si Rain. And of course, si Shania from Altamira. Shania Altamira. Si Laila Pratuma from Panabo. Carmen, rather.
Amen. Yes.
Also si Eleanor from North Cotabato. Kasi the first time na pumunta kami ng Hiyas, ang roommates talaga, nag-rent kami ng Airbnb.
Okay.
Ako, si Ate Megan from Mati City. We are teammates. Si Laila Pratuma and si Eleanor. Isang Airbnb kami. The first time na nag-fly kami ng Manila, sila ang kasabayan ko. So, parang na-build din ang bond namin. Sila ang na-close ko. And then, na-follow na din yung other girls na roommates ko din. So, sila kasi, yung roommates ko kasi ang always ko kasama. So,
Were there sometimes language barriers o pag sanmot nimo with the nationals?
yes, of course. So, the primary language that you have to speak is Tagalog. Although, Team Mindanao, murag half sa delegates kay Team Mindanao, may magkasinabtanay, may Bisaya, ang mga taga-Visayas pod. But, you still have to speak Tagalog kasi the people from Luzon will not understand. And, isip ko sa kabisaya, maglisod ko og Tagalog.
Pagka sinapit atong dilaan.
True.
Yeah.
So, gilisod ko siya, pero iraos naman.
Good. At least para makasabot na ka, the next time you would visit Luzon or Manila, you will get to learn the language na baya. Especially non-Cebuano speaking. Anyway, was there a time nga murag na ay usa ka candidate na wa kan naganahan every time kung may competition, especially I don't know kung may situation nga halos they don't want to talk to you in such na ba?
Oh, yeah. Of course, there would always be instances kasi you can't please everyone. Even if it's a short time lang, you expect na may sisterhood. Meron talagang people who have their eyes on the prize. And because of that, sometimes animosity grows. But it doesn't really matter to me kasi after the competition, everything goes back to normal. I experienced this in Hiyas na there is really, there are candidates who, pag competition na talaga, game face talaga sila. You can't talk to them.
Yeah.
But, after naman ng pageant, sisters na kayo ulit.
Yeah.
So,
It's very challenging ba ya. Anyway, ato ning open up regarding katong the recent visit sa imong advocacy, which is of course Angels Walk sa usa man ni katong gibuhi nga istorya regarding that your mother, I guess, is a special needs teacher.
Yes.
Yes. Well, how important ba ya is you needed to understand them sa atong mga parents nga dunay children with special needs, not just autism but also mga ADHD, mga Down syndrome, different spectrums ba ya of with special needs ba ya, whether na yung mga some things na we wanted na whatever it is na mabuhi sila nga normal just like the rest of us. Unsa to?
So, for parents, I grew up kasi we had also a schoolhouse in Catalunan Pequeña before. So, nag-grow up ko nga naami gina-cater. At first, kay nag-start siya as tutorial center for children. And then, nahibalaan sa neighborhood na akong mama is ped teacher. So, nagsunod-sunod na after ato, clients na si mommy, nagka-students na po siya na naay mga special needs. So, ang first jud na step is awareness talaga.
Yes.
Kasi sa ato ang good kay although we try our best to raise awareness and to make people aware of the special needs spectrum. Many people here in the Philippines, undeniable yun, nagya po discrimination. So, because they don't understand. When we don't understand something, we are afraid of it. Diba? Either we are afraid, and since we are afraid, kay wala man ta kasabot, atoan na lang i-discriminate, which is wrong. Instead, we should create a culture of understanding. It goes the same with families who have children with special needs. I grew up din sa school kasi na meron talaga, nag-accept kasi yung school namin ng children with special needs. So marami akong friends who actually live their life the same way I do. Kasi wala naman talagang it's not really like, ano yung tawag niyan? Some people look at it as a disease. It's not a disease. It's something kaya nga special di ba? Kasi you just have to understand. Kasi iba ang the way their mind works. But when that happens, and people start to understand and become aware, then they start to accept, diba? And when you accept, you embrace everything, then you give them the chance. You give our brothers and sisters who have special needs the chance to live their lives fully and normally.
Now, we will help muna sa atong first round sa atong mga questions. So, let's play a little game which is called One Word. Kay gusto na ko nga mag-share lang ko sa pipila ka butang, some things and some personalities that I have in mind, and you would describe them in one word. So, andam na ba ka, Rebecca?
Andam na.
Alright, so let's go first and foremost with some things. The most memorable trip that you had traveled?
Barobo.
Wow. Layo, wala pa ko kaadto. Ang pinakalayo man sa ko, Sindangan, sa Zamboanga del Norte.
Mas layo na, sir.
Yes, yeah.
Super.
Yeah, so, next, the most hated food that you ate?
Most hated food that I ate? Probably isaw, kaya nagkasakit ko tungkol sa isaw.
Ooh, street food.
Yeah.
Pero okay naman yun.
Pero mukhaan man ko. Wala na trauma.
Picky lang.
Picky lang. Sometimes dali lang magud ko masakit.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
The most favorite person that you wanted to bond again?
Most favorite person that I want to bond again? Madami na flood sila sa brain ko. Pero that would probably be Ate Carly Chua.
Wow.
She's so fun to be with.
Si Sangay.
Yeah.
Carly siya. Next is um, the most prominent person that you have met way before your title.
Most prominent person I have met? I think that would be Attorney Torion.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, my boss before.
Attorney Australia, Bobet Torion.
Yeah, Attorney Bobet Torion. Hello, boss.
Hello. Assalamualaikum. Yeah, he's a Muslim actually.
Oh, he is.
Yeah. Another topic is most favorite flavor of your drink.
Most favorite flavor, Spanish latte.
Grabe. Sabay pagdapig-dapig.
Spanish latte dyan.
Sponsor. Ito, sa venue. Anyway, another turn off.
Turn off people who overstep their boundaries.
Crossing the line.
Yeah, crossing the line.
Yeah. Okay. Turn ons.
Turn-ons. People who know how to understand. Yeah.
Okay. Let's go on to some personalities. Here's the first one. Your predecessor, the first female plus-size mutya, Hannah Mage Picho.
Confidently beautiful.
Right. Former Diwa ng Davao 2024, Jan Marine Rendon.
Strong-willed.
Former Sinag ng Davao 2024, Yuan Preglo.
Yuan is very beautiful.
Undeniable.
Super.
Everybody says that she's a Barbie.
True. Barbie.
Yeah. Next. Former Pag-asa ng Davao 2024, Fredelma Nova Tinasas Corporal.
Fierce. But playful.
Wow. Patnubay ng Davao 2024, Abigail de la Serna Balili.
Abigail. Pretty face.
Let's go on with some other. The concurrent Pag-asa ng Davao 2025, Catriana Batu.
Catriona, business-minded. Super.
Undeniable. Yeah. Concurrent Patnubay ng Davao 2025, Angel Alicaba.
Angel. Oh, Angel is hardworking.
The concurrent Diwa ng Davao 2025, Dana Gabriel Tauto.
Adventurous.
Nice.
Super.
I don't know if you would describe one in one word. Pastor Apollo C. Kiboloy.
Pastor Apollo C. Kibuloy. In one word,
Yes.
actually I've worked with him before sa law firm.
Okay.
But I think during the time that I was there, explain ka, you know. During the time that I was there, we spoke to his members. And one word that they would describe him is helpful.
That's nice. It's undeniable.
Yeah, he is helpful talaga.
Alright. Another person that I'd like you to describe in one word. Miss Universe 2015, Pia Alonso Wurtzbach.
Pia Alonso Wurtzbach, my idol.
Here's another. The former Diwa ng Davao 2017 and your fellow sister candidate from Hiyas ng Pilipinas, Carly Jane Lanit Chua.
Ano tawag kay Ate Carly? She is raketera.
Because you're also a host.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, which we will discuss it later. Next. The former Mutya ng Davao 2023 and also your fellow sister from Hiyas ng Pilipinas, Maria Isabel Pelayo.
Ria. Ria is a dreamer.
Okay. Very nice. Pauline Amalinks.
Pauline! Oh my God.
I saw her in person, really.
She's so pretty. But my word for Pauline is also hardworking. She's very hardworking.
Yeah, that's good. Another. Former broadcaster and current city councilor Tech Ocampo.
Ooh, public service. Public servant. Yeah.
Yeah. Your boss, Councilor Jessica Cookie Bungguyan sa way pagdapig-dapig akong paryente.
Matinud-anon. Yeah,
Truthful.
truthful.
Nice. Buutan pod.
Oh, butan, yeah. Mas fitting ang butan dyan. Legit.
Okay. The outgoing Vice Mayor and Councilor-elect J. Melchor Kitain Jr.
Smart, intelligent. Yeah.
Outgoing Mayor and Vice Mayor-elect Sebastian Baste Duterte.
Leader. Leader talaga siya.
Nice. Our Philippine Vice President Sara Duterte.
Oh, my favorite woman right now.
Yeah.
Vice President Sara Duterte for me is an icon. She's an icon.
Yes. Veronica Kitty Duterte.
Ooh, Kitty. Kitty is strong. A strong woman.
Yeah. Next is si Jessamy Huelar Simon.
Oh, Ate Jessa, my classmate.
Wow.
Actually, classmate in law school. Ate Jessa is actually a role model.
Nice. Undeniable. Attorney Luna Acosta.
Oh, si Ma'am Luna. Ma'am Luna is, for me, having worked with her, she is someone who is a jack of all trades.
Nice. Attorney Sweet Advincula.
Attorney Advincula, Councilor Advincula
Yes.
is also, for me, with the heart of service.
Nice. The incoming city councilor, Attorney Antoinette Petit Principe.
Oh, Attorney Petit. She is also a role model.
Wow.
Lawyers who are in public service are role models for me.
Yes. The incumbent city councilor, Attorney Diosdado J.R. Mahipos.
Attorney Mahipos. Wait, maalala ko ang kanyang cardboard standee. The man who always says hello.
Yes. Great. Very nice. Our former president and our mayor, Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
The father of the city and of the Philippines.
Yes. Mutya ng Davao del Sur 2024 and former sinag ng Davao 2023, Jamila Dayan Ampis.
Jamila, sister.
Yes. Oo. I have what pops on my mind really. Another is Attorney Rachel Sosobrado, the
Oh.
sister of the outgoing city councilor Jesus Joseph Sosobrado III.
Attorney Zosobrado. I think she is, ano ba? How do I put it? Somebody who knows what she wants to do. Yeah. Ano
Okay.
tawag dyan? Is there one word for that?
Yeah, it's very a lengthy word. Really. Another is Davao City Tourism Operations Office Head, OIC, Jennifer Ricardo Romero.
Ma'am Jen, of course. She is the mother of all tourism activities in Davao City. Ang haba naman.
Yeah.
And she is also very hardworking.
Okay. The Department of Tourism Regional Director for Davao, Tanya Virginia Rabatan.
Ma'am Tanya, she is a woman who creates vision into reality. She is a realizer. Yeah.
Congressman Pulong Duterte.
Congressman Pulong Duterte. Also a person with an iron fist.
Nice. Pulong's son, the incoming congressman of the 2nd District, Omar Vincent Duterte.
Ooh. incoming Congressman Omar Duterte. My encounter with him mas mutya ng buhangin, and I think that he can also make decisive decisions, especially pag nalagay na siya sa plate.
Okay.
Waiting.
Yeah. Another son of Congressman Pulong is the incoming City Councilor Rodrigo Rigo Duterte II.
Someone to look forward to.
Okay. I don't know if I could allow this next person so that you don't like, if you like to pass. The outgoing Congresswoman, Attorney Migs Nograles.
Oh, Attorney Migs. Actually, I watched her before on TikTok. TikToker, and intelligent naman siya. Yeah.
Okay. Let's not discuss further about that person. Anyway. The outgoing City Councilor of the 2nd District, Augusto Javier Javi Garcia Campos.
Oh, Sir Javi. He is also intelligent.
Okay. Playing safe.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And of course, last but far from least, Kadang Pangcarlo Dolier. Describe me in one word. I'll take it personally.
Oh, do you want one word or one lengthy paragraph? Because
It's up to you if you wanted one full paragraph.
wow, Sir Carlo is a source of truth. As a media person, I think he delivers news well, and at the same time, he is into pageantry, which is something that people should look out for because it's a very big platform. Thank you for your services.
I take it. That's about it for the one word, but thank you for answering all of the things. And let's go on as we are about to end our interview. There are a couple of questions that I like to take right before we wrap things up. This is in relation, of course, you were saddened because about your fellow sister of Mutia, Ibon Ortega, which she had eventually resigned because she had chosen the greater pasture in the endeavor. How do you feel that Ibon had decided for herself that she chooses the passion over the responsibility as a ambassadress of Davao City?
Yeah, so Ate Bon, actually, when she broke the news to us, we were really sad to see her go. But we're also happy for her kasi she's an only child. And she told us the full story of that she needs to be the breadwinner for both her parents who are also PWTs, she mentioned. So it's a very hard decision for her. And also, kung pwede na mo siya pugungan, pugungan na mo siya. But we can't kasi it's a responsibility also to give back to your family. I'm a very big family person. So if my family needs me, then I must put them first, even if it means sacrificing my own dreams. So I really understand her. Although we hoped na hindi masyado soon ang pag-alis niya. We miss her, of course, but we're really happy to see that she is thriving out there.
Yeah. Let's hope for the best for Ibon. Though, to be honest, naka-stiff neck na ganin ko sa dinner na kayo when I had interviewed her. Perting taasa.
Pangkajud kayo siya.
Yeah, very. Anyway, morena siya, but beautiful.
So beautiful.
Yeah. Here's another that I just wanted to open up. If you could answer that, I think it's a debatable question, which I know if you were involved in the, let's just say, discussions were raised because there are winners na baya is not from the locality good once na appeal o ingananan na pageant. Pero in your humble opinion, high time na ba na ingon nato nga iban ang tanang imports para Tagalog higayon ang mga namuyo, mga born and raised sa maong lokalidad para legitimately to represent their locality if ever musamot sila sa national pageants?
National pageants.
Regional and national.
All right. For me, one example I could think of is katong sa Miss Universe,
Okay.
where we are now required to send women who were born in the country that they represent. That's fair din naman. But at the same time, for like example, here in Davao City, our rules are different kasi
Okay.
you only need proof that you have been living in the city for 1 year. Why? Because you are going to represent Davao City. So you have to be somebody who understands Davao City. And to be able to understand is to be able to live here, to reside here, even if 1 year siya. Diba mo yung sila, mubo kayo ng 1 year. Dapat taga-diri jud, gipanganak jud diri. But for me, if capable ang person to represent the city, then we can accept and allow them, give them the chance to represent. Even ang mga politicians man gani nato, in the law, there is a residency requirement lang pod. So, if the person is capable to give his or her, in terms of pageantry, all to represent a certain place, regional, national, then they should be allowed to. Because why not? We are a diverse naman din na society.
Yeah. That is still a debatable, which is
Yeah,
up to
very
now.
debatable.
Gani, up to now, okay, and more maghihapon, we cannot please everybody by And anyway, as we're about to end baya ang atong interview because we don't want to prolong this, pero naman po'y sunod na higayon. Kuhan kung tugtan si Rebecca, kung dili ipit ang iyahang oras. But naba kay mabungahon o mahinungdanong mensahe to those supporters who have believed in you, bisan pa sa ingon nato imong ikaduhang higayon nga nakasalmot sa mutya, then you have given the title and your full responsibility, as well as ingon nato ang mga nahimong supporters from the previous pageants you have joined. It's your time to shine, Rebecca Gail Celes, mutya ng Davao 2025.
Thank you for this chance. Mabuhay ug madayaw. I am Rebecca Gail Celis, your mutya ng Davao 2025. Sa tanang misuporta sa ko, sugod pagyud sa sinugdanan. From being a nobody to becoming your mutya, salamat kaayo. It was a bumpy ride, not just for me, for my team. But thank you for being behind my back all this time. And I may not be able to please everyone, magala na ito i-discuss, but I will make sure that during my reign, Davao City will be Davao City. It's definitely Davao City for us. And we're going to make sure that the four of us, not just ako, because teamwork makes the dream work, we're going to make sure that we are going to give back kung unsa ang nahatag sa syudad sa amua. O we are looking forward to your support. The journey didn't end last March 15. The journey continues, and we are here because you have loved us. And now we are going to give our love and support back sa inyo sa pamaagi sa among services. Yes.
Yeah. Naba kay gustong pasalamatan na sponsors since your reign as damutya ng Davao 2025, as well katong mga naga-sponsors sa mga sanina or sa imong skincare. Please do.
Yay! Thank you so much for this spot. Where do I start? Okay. First of all, I would like to thank Next Level Medical and Aesthetic Center for taking care of me since February 2024. Wala pa ako nagsugod og pageantry. Nag-sponsor na sila sa ko. Thank you so much, Ma'am Julie, Sir Joko, Jay, everyone for believing in me, the doctors that handled me, to make me look the prettiest and the most confident version of myself today. Also, thank you kay Doc Chelo Agudo of Chelo Dental Center for taking care of me during my HIAS days and even until today, for being my dentist since day one. Thank you so much also sa Love and Styles for providing my outfits. Becoming their ambassadress is a dream to me. Thank you so much sa Lady Boss also for choosing me to be their ambassadress. PLDT, of course, and so many more. I'm Thank you din so much sa aking team, Team Mio. Without them, I wouldn't be here. Sila ang naga-boost akong confidence, sila nagapagwapas ako, and they make sure that I have everything I need. Yes.
Yeah. And with that, I think this is just the very beginning and it's not going to be the last because mag-live update na pud ko soonest possible time. Basta dili api kay mong oras, Rebecca. Yeah, so once again, thank you so much, Rebecca.
Thank you, Sir
Yeah.
Carlo.
Yeah, until the next basta sa dili pa mapasa ang imong corona sa imong mamahimong successor pohon. But let's wrap things up by saying thank you sa tanan ng mga nagalantaw meaning edisyon sa tuwang one-on-one heart-to-heart interview. And let's thank our venue that we usually use, the Drip and Dip Cafe, located at Inigo Street, Anda, Davao City, right in front of Cecil's. O lami kaya nining dark mocha, and sa iyaha is just Spanish latte.
Dami kayo.
Yeah, lami yun kayo, and especially katong red velvet. Wa ko masayop, no? Lami kayo. So I think this is the must try that you wanted to, whether if you like the vibe, pwede na ninyo siguro. While you can also do your itineraries, your work, your studies here, and it's open for all. So please support local businesses here in Davao. Although na may daghang mga nag-boom nga business, pero ang gusto nato nga ipa-emphasize na, of course, sa next na lang na interview nato with Rebecca sa dili pa mapasa ang iyang corona mga next year pa. So we'll give the live update every now and then sa matag events, and of course kung na si Rebecca maghatag og live update. And that's about it for our one-on-one heart-to-heart interview. Kini ang inyong ubos nga alagad, ang inyong kanangpan, Carlo Dolier, kauban si Rebecca Gail Celes, the pride of Barangay 19B, Poblacion, Bacaca/Garcia Heights, Davao City, the concurrent mutya ng Davao 2025. Daghang kayo salamat ug maayong adlaw kaninyong tanan amping permente. Once again, mabuhay ug madayaw.